Welcome to the Mindset Mile podcast, the show that'll leave you empowered to take action towards becoming the turned up version of your already awesome self. I'm your host, Aisha Zaza, and I'm so glad you're here. Let's go. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Mindset Mile podcast. I am so excited to be back with you, recording and hopefully filling your cup. If you are a season 1 listener of the show, then I want to invite you to take a listen to the season 2 trailer so you can get a feel for the direction of the podcast, because it's not going to be one episode a day like season 1. But if this is your first episode of the podcast ever, then you won't know any better and that won't matter. But I do want to encourage you to check out some of the episodes in last season or start the 30-day challenge, because it was a game changer for so many people. And I'm just so filled up at the community that is built around the Mindset Mile 30-day challenge and this podcast. So you know me, not too much housekeeping, no BS. I want to dive right in. I want to just share with you that 90% of the time I work and write from home, but today I'm sitting in an outdoor coffee shop and I've got an iced latte and I feel like these words are about to pour out of me. It's a topic that I think is so important. I want to talk about ownership because something recently happened where I got called out on something and it just felt super icky, but I was in the wrong. And being in the wrong doesn't feel great, regardless of why you're there, because it can mean that your conscience knew better, but you acted despite it. Or it can mean that though your actions were not ill-intended, someone's feelings got hurt. And it never feels good to unintentionally hurt someone else. And when we are confronted with our wrongdoings, it can be so easy to want to blame everything and everyone else for our circumstances or for what happened. And sadly, we see a lack of people taking ownership everywhere these days, not taking ownership of their actions, of hurting people, of situations they're in. People are quick to not take ownership of their health, their weight, where they're at in life, their financial situation, the toxic relationships they have. You might not even realize you're doing it either, because it can be about small things that might not seem to matter as much. I've done it before. I'll show up somewhere late and explain all the reasons why I didn't get out the door in time. And I'm not saying unexpected things don't come up sometimes, but the likely reality most of the time is that you didn't plan enough time or got distracted doing other things before you left. I realize being late occasionally isn't the biggest deal in the world, but if it's something perpetual, I would strongly suggest taking a closer look at why and ways that you can help yourself be on time. Time is our most valuable and finite resource, and respecting other people's time is an honorable trait. And it shows that you don't think that your time is more valuable than theirs. But I digress. Here's the thing about always placing blame outward, whether intentionally or unintentionally. You cannot change what you are not owning as your own. Blaming gives away all of your power, all of it. It robs you of the ability to learn from your mistakes. It cripples your ability to grow as a person, which is why people who always play the victim find themselves in similar situations time and time again. Because unless you're able to even realize you have a blind spot, then you're going to constantly feel slighted by people, by your boss, by your partner, by the world. And I get it. Usually when we are confronted by someone for something we did or how our actions made them feel, we naturally want to defend ourselves. Because most of the time, our intention was not to actually hurt someone or cause any wrong, but sometimes we do. We're human. But let me tell you something. If you want to feel happy, have healthy relationships, both with yourself and others, approach life with a glass half full type of lens, then building humility to own your mistakes and decisions is crucial. You are where you are because of the decisions you've made. I know that sounds harsh, and I wish sugarcoating would be effective. But if you're listening to this podcast, it's because you want to build better habits that will help you flourish in life. And there's no way to beat around the bush with this. You are not where you are because of your past or because someone is forcing you to stay in a bad relationship or telling you to keep eating junk food, nobody is keeping you from starting that side hustle or making you spend your money frivolously. I don't know about you, but even talking about these things in a way that places blame outward feels powerless. It feels like, well, this is the deck I was handed and there's nothing I can do about it. That's a lonely and depressing thought. It lacks hope, drive, and optimism. It is a mindset that breeds scarcity and perpetuates the belief that you don't have the capacity to make change. We all have circumstances to work with, but going through life reactive and believing everything is just happening to you is a path where dreams and happiness go to die. Taking ownership might not feel great right off the bat, but in the long run, it'll make you feel empowered because when we learn from our behavior and experiences, we give ourselves the opportunity to experience better outcomes. I often get asked what my favorite running accessories are, and I'd be doing you a disservice by not sharing these with you. They are a new to the show brand, but one I've been wearing for years, which is why I'm so pumped that this episode is brought to you by Gooder. Gooder makes active sunglasses for anyone, and the best part is they are affordable and stylish. I've run hundreds of miles with these sunnies over the years, and I can attest that they are lightweight, comfortable, and don't bounce or slip off your face. They're 100% UV protective and polarized, so they provide the best protection for your eyes and are only $25 a pop, plus free shipping on orders over $50. If you want to run in style or support me in the show, grab a couple pairs for yourself and your friends this year. They make the perfect gift and stocking stuffer. Gooder is offering Mindset Mile listeners 15% off by using the code MindsetMile. That's 15% off plus free shipping over $50 using code MindsetMile. Check them out online at gooder.com. That's GOODR.com. Look good, run Gooder. Humility isn't something gained by doing everything right all the time. It's gained by being wrong and owning up to it, by saying, I'm sorry, by giving yourself grace and moving on with new awareness, by realizing you are in the driver's seat. Victim mentality lacks humility. It lacks vulnerability, and it's hard to be around. We all have those people in our life, am I right? Maybe you've identified with a lot of what we've been talking about today, and it feels kind of heavy. Here's something encouraging. You just listening to this makes you 10 times further along than you think. Just by plugging in, you are creating awareness. If you're wondering what progress feels like, this is it. Right now. The realization that you are where you are now because of the decisions you've made, be it negative or positive, and knowing that you have the ability to change by taking ownership. Because now you take your power back. You can shape and mold and strengthen the things that have weighed you down. I don't know what the situation is, but if after this podcast you text someone you're sorry, or you sign up for that workout program, or register for that course, and go home and get rid of all your alcohol, whatever small action you take after this is a step in the right direction, and I'm proud of you for it. Next time you find yourself on the defense, here are a couple things to ask yourself that can de-escalate the situation so that you can think proactively instead of reactively. Do I want to be happy or do I want to be right? And will this matter to me in a year from now? Those two questions are simple but powerful and will almost always bring you closer to clarity. The point of this episode is not to shame, which oftentimes we associate with taking ownership. I hope instead that you've been able to identify some of your own blind spots and feel empowered to own them, because now you can grow from them instead of being held back by them. That's all for today, my babes. I'm so happy to have you back. I will see you next time, and until then, make it a great day.